I guess I'm Queen Bee, or BEO, I'm BEO. I don't know. Coming up with some different names.
So the NFL players, David and John, they're all still invested. I know just because of your age, you get a lot of young people, young entrepreneurs, period, that always want to pick your brain, ask for advice. And I know you get out a ton of really, really great advice, but I'll ask the question this way. Is there anything that you wish you would have known then that you know now, that you think would be helpful for young entrepreneurs as they ideate and think about the kind of businesses they want to be?
This is very much so business wise, but I think it was knowing my competition. And, because it was honey sweetened flaxseed lemonade, there wasn't much competition in the product itself, but there was in the name. And so I didn't really look into that when I started. Be Sweet was just a name that I came up with, like, hey, let's do a lemonade stand called Be Sweet. And then when we got to bottles and then we got to Shark Tank, we started going, oh, there may be other companies. There's another company named Be Sweet and they want us to change ours. So looking into competition, not only direct competition, so companies that have the same or similar products as yours, but also indirect competition, so companies that are solving the same need or identifying the same customer base. And so I think I wish I looked into that when I was starting, but again, I was 4, so
I guess we'll give you a pass if that's the case.
Yeah,
I guess we will. Now, I know you changed as you changed the name. It was Be Sweet, and then it became Me and the Bees. It seems like your intention is for this to be a family-owned affair. What does it mean to you that your legacy will be creating a family business?
I have a lot of respect for family-run businesses, especially now during COVID, where Jacob's at home. Jacob's my younger brother, head of photography. He's at home doing his online classes, sometimes playing video games. My dad's doing his Dell work and usually on conference calls. My mom's head of marketing. She's doing like website updates on conference calls for that. I'm on classes or doing podcast interviews also. So, it even as we're home in apart doing our separate thing, it's figuring out what calendar works for us and how we assign roles. But it's amazing because we've realized as a family what strengths we each have. So Jacob's head of photography, my mom's chief marketing B, my dad is chief worker B, because when I started, he was the one heavy lifting all of the boxes of lemonade. So that's what he's good at. Now he's helping us with ops. And then I guess I'm Queen Bee, or BEO, I'm BEO. I don't know. Coming up with some different names. But I lost my train of thought.
I think
it's a lot of work, as you can probably imagine, having a family-run company. But there's also some pluses as well, like knowing each other's strengths and weaknesses.
So how do you all, as a family, how do you handle disagreement?
I don't really remember a specific. Oh, I do. I think right now I'm gonna say we handle disagreements with a taste test, because that's the example that I remember right now. For example, my mom said, hey, there's a customer who thinks this flavor is too strong. My dad's like, nah, I helped formulate this. It's not too strong. So we settled it with a taste test, and we went through the texture and the smell and the color. And now we're going to figure out, okay, what was the overall census on that and what are our next steps? So, I mean, that's the most relevant disagreement that I can think of. But when it comes to having disagreements for the operational process of Me and the Bees, it's usually getting some expertise or advice from one of our business partners or investors or someone on our board. And those are all people who we are in contact with to make sure that we're making the right decisions, even if there's like an internal conflict, that we're making the right decisions for the business.